Hi there, Miss Annie here. I am so excited to teach you how to make my famous pumpkin bread. This recipe is just an absolute no-fail recipe. It is so easy to make and I cannot wait to share it with you. It has a little secret ingredient in it and I will show you what that is at the very end. So stay tuned for that. But this pumpkin bread, I've literally been making it for many, many years and have made thousands of loaves of this bread. Everybody just loves it and I am happy to share the recipe. So let's get started. The first thing that you're gonna need, I use this stand mixer, but you don't have to have that. You just need a big bowl with a big mixer and you're just gonna put in first your wet ingredients. So we're gonna start with 5 eggs. Next, you need 1 1/3 cups of oil. I love these little measuring cups because you can see it on the side and you can also see it when you're pouring it in. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put in my 1 1/3 cup. So here's 1 and 1/3 of a cup. Next, you're going to put in your pumpkin. And honestly, my favorite pumpkin that I really like to use is the Great Value Walmart brand. You can use Libby's, totally fine. It really doesn't matter what you use, but I prefer the Walmart brand just simply because it's packed tighter and I feel like it has less kind of water in it. It's not quite as runny. So it just looks like this. You're just gonna scoop it out. Put it in your mixer. Uh-oh. Let me get this up. Clean that off just a little bit. Okay, then you put this on low until it's really well blended. And I'll show you this in just a second. So I think you're gonna stir it up for maybe about 30 to 45 seconds until it looks like this. All right, next you're gonna add your dry ingredients. So I like to add my flour first. And so you need 2 cups of flour. All right, 2 cups of flour. And then you're gonna need 2 cups of sugar. I actually like to put my flour in first and then I add the sugar because when you turn on your mixer, if you've got the flour on the top, it tends to kind of poof out, right? And so I like to put the sugar on the top because it just makes it a little bit heavier and it keeps that flour from kind of puffing out of your bowl. So I'm gonna do the sugar. Next, you need, and this is another thing that I love about this recipe is it's 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of flour, and then just 1 teaspoon of each of the next 4 ingredients. So you need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You're gonna need 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, so it's going to look like this in your bowl. And then you're going to mix this up really well for 30 seconds to 45 seconds. It's looking good. And I'm going to grab my spatula. And I'm going to clean the edge of my bowl. Okay, so it's really well blended. Let me see. You can see that. And then the last thing that you're going to add is either 2 small boxes of vanilla pudding, or I'm going to use the bigger box, the family size of vanilla pudding. And that is the secret ingredient. This vanilla pudding makes this bread so incredibly moist and delicious. Stir that around really well. And you can already see it makes the dough a little bit more dense. I'm going to use my spatula again to clean the sides. Now I'm going to show you the pans that I use when I make my pumpkin bread. The size that I'm most famous for when I take pumpkin bread to the schools for the teachers, let me get this off. Take this off. Move this out of my way. This is the pan that I use, and they make small little snack size loaves, and that's what I take into the schools for the teachers. When I do my fundraisers, I have this size loaf, so it's a little bit bigger. This is going to take 1/3 cup heaping of the mixture, pumpkin mixture, and this will take 1 heaping cup. Okay, of course you can use the bigger loaf pan, and this probably is going to make 2 of the big loaf pans, but this is what we're going to do. Miss Annie's also going to show you one of the things I like to do to get the dough to come out of my measuring cup. I just spray it with a little bit of spray oil. All right, so, ooh, I forgot to spray my pans. Now, normally I like to do this over the sink, just in case you spray out, and then you can just easily rinse out your sink. But because we're right here, I just thought I'd do it right here. It'll be fine. All right. So, next you just take your dough. Can you see? Let me move this down a little bit so you can really see. I'm just going to fill this up. I have preheated my oven to 350, One of my favorite things about when my pumpkin bread is in the oven is, of course, I love the smell. It is amazing. Okay, so here's this one, and I'm going to put this aside, and then I'm going to get my larger pan. Like I said, this usually takes about a cup. So there's 1/3 of a cup. Here's another 1/3 of a cup. And then another 1/3 of a cup. And honestly, I think I can get another pan. So I'm going to spray this. Okay. And then I'm going to scrape my bowl. I'm going to see if there is 1 cup in there. Yep. Okay. Now, of course, you can add like chocolate chips to it, but a really good friend of mine said, don't do that. But I love it. I love chocolate chips. He was simply saying it's good enough just all on its own. So I am going to put these in the oven. This pan is going to bake for 30 minutes. And then these will bake for about 45 minutes. So after they bake, I will be back. All right, see you soon. Okay, the pumpkin bread is out of the oven and my house smells amazing. I baked the pan of the smaller loaves for 30 minutes and then the large loaves for 45 minutes. Now, give or take, depending on your oven, it might take a little bit less or a little bit more. When you start smelling that amazing, wonderful smell, just check. And just if it bounces back at you, it's ready. So just really quick, I want to show you how I wrap up my pumpkin bread. All right, my favorite thing to use is this Reynolds wrap that has the slide cutter. Okay, right here it has this awesome slide cutter. All right, so what I do is I just take my saran wrap and I actually put it on the edge of the counter, and then with my stomach, I just push up against it. And then I cut my wrap. And then when I wrap up my pumpkin bread, it's actually a little bit warm. Okay, did you see how I did that? All right, now I'm gonna do the small one. Okay, again, just pull it out. Use your slide cutter. And then wrap up your bread right here. All right, should I do that one more time? Okay, I'm gonna take a big loaf and a small loaf one more time. All right. So pull this out. Use your tummy to hold it. Use your slide cutter. Turn your bread upside down. Pull up one end, pull up the other end, and then wrap the sides, and then the top looks so nice and smooth. All right. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you find this video so helpful, and I hope that you will share it with all of your friends and family, and I will see you next time. Take care.